Hello, everybody. Today, I want to share with you all the generalities and all the things that we are going to be covering during this semester in this subject, right? So, welcome to Basic English. So, in order to start, let me share with you the importance of English, why this language is so important now in society. So, as you know, English is one of the most used languages in the world. Even outside of countries like the USA and the UK, many people can speak and can understand English. For example, here in our country, in El Salvador, there are a lot of people that can speak English and that they can understand it at the same time. So, now that you are entering to this first step right in your life that is about studying in the university, maybe sometimes you ask yourself, so why did I decide to study English? So maybe just because you like it, just because you want to get some money, just because you want to travel, etc., right? But I want to share with you some of the reasons to study English, why English is so important nowadays. So, in order to start, let me tell you that English is a global language. A lot of people know about it, right? Not only here in El Salvador, but also in another country, right? Around the world. So, English is a global language. Also, English opens new career opportunities. Okay, it opens a lot of doors to you. English is the top language of the internet. That's very important. Now that we can communicate with a lot of people from different parts of the world, right? Remember that, for example, if you go to internet, if you surf internet, you can find information that is written in English. So if you know about this language, you have the opportunity to understand it and to get the idea about that, right? This is very important. Studying English can help you to get a good job. Let's imagine that you are a teacher. So if you are a teacher, you have the opportunity to work in a school, in the university. If you are a flight attendant, you can work in the airport, in an office, right, etc. So you have the opportunity to get many different things if you are studying English. In this case, a job, right? Um, Also, traveling is a lot easier with good knowledge of English. Let's imagine that you travel to another country, right? You are going to find different people that they don't speak the same language like you do, right? So if you speak English, you have the opportunity to communicate with different people, with different cultures, right? And also the last one, with English, you can speak all over the world. As I was mentioning before, English opens a lot of doors to you. So now let's talk a little bit about myself. Let's talk about the teacher's background. As you know, my complete name is teacher Gabriela Melissa Beltran Rodriguez. I live here in Santa Ana. What about my major? I got la licenciatura en Ciencias de Educación, especialidad de idioma inglés, here at Unicaes. I got a master's degree in asesoría educativa too. What about my work experience? I have worked with children, with teenagers, with adults, right? In different levels. Also, I worked as an interpreter here in El Salvador, and also I worked in the administration area. This is very important. If you want to communicate with me, if you have any doubt, if you have any question about an evaluation, an activity, this is my email, okay? So that you can write to me, you can contact me, and I will answer it, okay? So this is my email, just in case you want to note or you want to ask something. What about the generalities of the subject? Okay, as you know, this is basic English, the section B, right? Licenciatura en Ciencias de la Educación, especialidad de idioma inglés. You are going to be teachers. What about the schedule, the days that you have to come to this class? So it's going to be from Monday to Thursday, and the time from 6:45 to 8:25. You have to be on time. Building is B, room 35. And also we're going to be using a book. This is the top notch, okay? We're going to be using this book, right? So we're going to be working with this book. Later on, I will explain to you the way we're going to be using this book. What about the objectives? This is an essential part about this subject, which is something that we would like to achieve at the end of the semester, right? If you get it or not. So part of the objectives I have here are the next ones. To use a wide variety of grammar structures in a communicative context, right? And number two, to develop critical thinking by using several real topics. All these topics are going to be referring to real life, right? Also, number three, to analyze the function and use of different grammatical structures. For example, how to construct a sentence, the complete structure, I mean, subject, verb, and complement, right, etc. The punctuation too. In number four, to use internet tools as an aid to develop English learning skills. So now that we are passing through this bad situation, like coronavirus, right, it's very important that we know about internet. So most of the activities are going to be based on that part. It's an important tool nowadays. And the last one, to express ideas using the vocabulary learned in the class sessions. Remember that we are not going to cover only grammar parts, right? The vocabulary is also included in the book. Then, as I was telling you before, the semester is divided into three periods. The first one, the second one, and the third one. So each period is connected or includes different units. In my case, I have divided all the periods like that with three units, right? For example, in the first period, we're going to have unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, that is about getting acquainted, going out, extending family, I mean the family members, etc., right? Also, for the second period, we have three more units, unit 4, 5, and 6, that is about food and restaurants, technology, and you. How important is technology nowadays, right? Also staying in shape. For example, the type of activities that you do to be healthy, the type of food that you eat to be healthy too, right? So all these topics are going to be included in the second period. And then for the last one, in the third period, we have three more units. That is about unit 7, 8, and 9, about vacations, shopping for clothes, the type of clothes that you are wearing, taking transportation, etc. Remember that all these units, right, contain different topics, but for example, it includes conversations, reading parts, listening parts, the vocabulary that is very important in order to put it into practice, not only with me, but also with your classmates, right? So you are going to have different forms to practice the English language. Then, this is an essential part. It's about the methodology that we're going to be covering in each class, right? What about the semester? So it says, this course focuses on providing students with the necessary tools and sources to develop communicative skills, not only orally, but also in the written form. Remember that if you are studying English, you are going to get the four micro skills. For example, listening, reading, writing, speaking, right? So these essential skills that you need to put into practice. Since this is a basic English course, there will be a repetition drill in order to get the students accustomed to articulating new sounds in the target language. We're going to have different conversations so that you can practice the speaking form, okay? Then we have more. Students will expose to different kinds of listening in order to develop comprehension and recognition of different accents in English. Okay? So later you have more information that you can read it, right? So this is going to be the part about the methodology we're going to be implementing in each class. Then, as I was telling you before, we have three periods, right? And each period we're going to have some evaluations too. This is very important. In every period, we're going to have different activities, a variety of activities, right? In this case, we're going to get only 5, right? For example, in the chart, you can see the activity and you can see the percentage. Remember that at the end, you need to get the 100% for all the activities, right? For example, in the first period, we're going to have a listening, a reading comprehension, a vocabulary quiz, a written test, and an oral interview. Okay, this is only for the first period. What about in the second one? You are going to have some role plays, in this case, about my restaurant. You have the option or the opportunity to read a book, in this case. You are going to have a reader, then a bit of reflection, okay, a role play, and also a written exam. There you have the percentages over here. And for the last one, for the third period, you're going to present, you're going to have the opportunity to perform a poster presentation. Also, you're going to have another book that is a reader, just like a movie. The homework assignments, journals, and also the workbook are going to be included in the evaluation. Also, case scenario and a written exam. Remember that when you are studying English, in every period, right, you are going to have an oral exam and also a written exam. Okay, both of them are going to get the 50% of your average. Okay, so we have oral exams and also written exam. Okay, so there you have the percentage per each of them. And now I have this part. So now that we are passing through this bad time, right, we need to get some different resources, okay, virtual resources. So we're going to have the opportunity to work on the Moodle platform. That's something very important. You're going to get your password, etc. And in that part, you're going to be checking all the practice that you are going to have for these subjects, right? Also, we're going to have the Zoom, right, in order to have the video conference, the online classes, right? Also the screencast to share like this one to share some presentations, and the Google Drive just in case that you want to share a document with me. Okay, also we're going to have readers, books, handouts, textbook, right, that I was showing to you, videos, speakers. Also you're going to be using your cell phone, right, and also the computer. So these are some didactic resources we're going to have in this subject. And then this is an important part, right? And in order to get a peaceful environment, we're going to respect all these rules that I have over here. For example, behave correctly. You are not kids, right? You have to be respectful not only with the teacher but also with your classmates, right? Say hello, good morning, how are you, thank you, etc. Respect the evaluations and the homework assignments dates, right? And this is very essential, the attendance. Remember that if you want to pass the subject, you need to get at least the 75%. Otherwise, you are going to fail it. Then check the platform constantly because you're going to have some practice over there. Food and drinks are not allowed. Omit nasty words in class, as I said before. Respect your classmates. And the most important one, remember that we are going to speak only in English, no Spanish, right? So try to be practicing English all the time. So these are some sources that I was using to this presentation. And in order to sum up, I just want to say thank you for paying attention. I hope you liked this presentation. If you have any question or any doubt, you can contact me, okay? So thank you so much and have a nice day.